Peoples, what is going on? I am Finesse. Of course, this right here is Bella. And today we're talking about microphones, specifically the DJI Mic 2. All right, y'all. So if you are a beginner YouTuber like myself, or you've been in the YouTube game for a while, more than likely you've been confronted with the choice of what microphone to get for your videos. All right. Now, there are a lot of microphones out there, from small to large, from ones that are advertised as professional to ones that are just advertised as, just a normal microphone. So there's a wide range of options out there that's going to fit whatever it is that you're trying to do. And on top of that, it's going to fit your budget. And for me, when I first started out, my budget for this channel was non-existent. So all of these microphones I paid for with my money. No one sent me anything to review. No one has sponsored me in these things. This is all my money. Like I was saying, when I started out, I wanted just to get a microphone, just to get in the game, because the first video I ever put out, I did not have a microphone. I was cupping my hand around the phone and hoping that the wind stayed a little low. But after putting that video out, I knew that I needed to get a microphone. So, of course, like just about everything else that you get, I go onto Amazon and I'm looking for microphones. As far as price goes, it's on the lower end. And I bought it with the understanding that I knew that I was going to have to upgrade. But I needed a microphone and I needed to, make sure that I was trying to get as much clarity as I could in my videos. So I got this microphone and then I started searching. All right. So at the time, Rode Wireless was real popular. And I was looking at that, and like I said, the budget, that wasn't in the wheelhouse for me. So I ended up going with a Synco, I believe is how you pronounce it. It is the same shape, it's the same size. I mean, it's the same everything, really. And those microphones worked great. They came with lavalier mics. They had the little dead cats you put on it to reduce the wind noise. I mean, it was a great performing microphone. It had noise canceling, but in the videos you can hear, or at least I can hear it. But it sounds like you're talking through a phone or something. It was just kind of off a little bit. It wasn't like a natural sounding recording. After I got that, again, we're early on, so it was doing what I needed it to do, and it worked for a good while. Until one day I was doing some recording and I had to move real quick. So I took the mics and instead of putting them in the case, I put them in my saddlebag, which was a very big mistake. Because what happened is on the face of that microphone, it's just a plastic face. So when it was in the saddlebag, it got all scratched up. So at that point, I couldn't tell if the microphone was on. I couldn't tell if it was transmitting or receiving, It was just a whole host of problems that I had because I couldn't see the screen. Yeah, there were times where I found that my microphone wasn't even on. I was interviewing people and doing those once in a lifetime type interviews with people that are just huge in the motorcycle world. And then come to find out in post as I'm going through the videos that there was no audio, so I had to scrap the videos. So at that point, I knew that it was time to, one, either replace those or two, get an upgrade. All right. So, and looking back at it, I knew that I didn't want to do the same microphones again because, like I said, it just didn't have that sound that I wanted. And instead of going with the Rode Wireless at that time by the time I got there, I ended up looking at the DJI mics. Now, the price on the DJI mics was a bit more. My budget had grown a little bit, so I was able to go ahead and get the DJI mics. Once I got the DJI mic, it made everything so much easier because the receiver, I could just attach it straight to my phone. And not only that, the screen that's on the DJI mic, it was bright enough and clear enough that at a distance, I can see if I'm transmitting. I can see if it's on. The microphone itself, it vibrates when it turns on, it vibrates when it turns off. So you know for a fact when it's on. There's no complicated screen on the microphone, so there's nothing to get scratched. Although at this price, I'm putting them back in the case. So they're not like floating around my saddlebag or anything, you know, lessons were learned. And now we got the DJI Mic 2. So today what I'm going to be doing is comparing the DJI Mic 1 to the DJI Mic 2. All right. Just to see if the upgrade is worth it, because if you've got the DJI mic, you know, you might not need the DJI Mic 2. And then on top of that, the DJI mic is going to be at a lower price and you could probably get a better deal on it. So like I said, if you're upcoming or you're new, you know, that might be a good option for you and still have great quality. So we're going to be doing some testing with the microphones, but of course we can't do any testing here in the garage. We're going to have to go outside and do some testing out there. So instead of being here, let's hit the parking lot. All right, and just like that, we are now outside. We're out here in Pooler, Georgia at the parking lot that Robert Simmons does his practice sessions in. And this is a often used space because it's a wide open space. And for this test, it's even better because it being wide open. That means there's wind going through, as you can see on my shirt. I got some construction over here to my right. And every so often, aircraft coming into Savannah International Airport flies overhead, which is about to happen here shortly. I can hear it on approach. So we're going to get a good test to see how this microphone performs. One, can you hear me over all the other noise? And two, the noise canceling feature when activated, because currently it is not activated. But when I activate it, we'll see what it sounds like. So I'm going to get on the other side of this bike. Man, I'm telling you, we got a whole bunch of magic going on today. But I want to start the bike up and do some talking while the bike is going, just to give it a quick test. And of course it's parked, so it's in gear. So I'm going to have to roll around here, put it in neutral. All right. All right, so we got the bike running. I also want to check to see if there's any kind of clipping or anything like that. The previous microphones that I did have, there was a lot of clipping in it. If you check out my first road Atlanta trip, when the bikes go by, they're so loud the microphone just couldn't handle it. Yep. So what we're gonna do, bring it up to about 2,000 RPM. So if you have a lavalier microphone and you're doing a vlog, this stuff is gonna be kind of important to you because the wind noise, road noise, and the bike, you know, you're gonna have to talk over all of these things. So that's what I did. And now let's turn on the noise canceling and see how that goes. All right, so now I have the noise canceling activated. You do that on the receiver, on the little screen that they have on the receiver. You just swipe up twice and then you swipe to the right and then you'll see the noise canceling there. So now we're gonna start the bike and I'm gonna do the same thing. I'm gonna put it at about 2,000 RPM and see what happens. All right, so let's put it up at about 2,000 RPM. All right, we're at 2,000 RPM. And like I said, if you're a vlogger, this type of stuff is important to you because if you're on the bike or in an ATV or something, or maybe you're just walking through an industrial area, you still want your voice to be picked up without having to start yelling and doing some crazy stuff. So, all right. Now, I have not heard that. This is the first time that I'm doing this test. So we're going to be learning this all at the same time. And I'm just really curious to know how this performs. So what I'm going to do next is, of course, I got to compare this to the DJI Mic, the first edition of it, and see, one, if you can still hear me, and if there's any issues with other noises going around me. So we're just going to compare the two audio clips. So if you have a lavalier microphone and you're doing a vlog, this stuff is going to be kind of important to you. All right, we're at 2,000 RPM. And like I said, if you're a vlogger, this type of stuff is important to you because the wind noise, road noise, and the bike. Because if you're on the bike or in an ATV or something, or maybe you're just walking through an industrial area. All right, so now I have the DJI microphone, the first edition of the microphone, and same location, so we're going to do the same thing. Start the bike up, get it at about 2,000 RPM. We'll give it a few revs. All right. All right, I'm at 2,000 RPM. We're gonna see if you can still hear me. We got some wind going. Tell you what, I love the sound of this bike. Let's head back over to Finesse Studios and I'll give you guys a close-up look at these two microphones. All right, we are back here at the house and we're gonna look at, get a closer look at the DJI Mic as well as the DJI Mic2. Now, real quick, I'm gonna throw some of the specs up here for either one of these microphones. You know, feel free to pause here and take a look at it just to check out some of the technical differences. And then once we get done with that, we're going to continue on and I'm just going to show you some of the visual differences as well as some of my likes and dislikes. All right, so we are going to look at the DJI Mic first. When you get this kit, so this is the kit, this is the version that comes with the 2 transmitters and the 1 receiver. So that's going to come with this bag or pouch, however you want to call it. It just has the DJI on the front. Inside you have space for wires as well as your literature. And you also are going to have your windscreens in here as well. But it's pretty simple. I mean, it's just a drawstring. So if you're in an area where there's moisture or if there's dirt and sand, you know, you're going to have to find another solution for that because this is not completely closed. So, you know, you just got something you got to be aware of. In addition to that, the DJI, the mic case does fit in here. But then you got like all these wires and stuff. Even if you have it in this pocket, you know, it's not necessarily, organized, so you're gonna have to move things around in order to make sure that it fits, and it's just problematic, but it does do the job of carrying everything. All right, so if you have it in a backpack or something like that, you're not gonna lose anything, so it would work out for you. Now, going to the case here, so this is the case that the DJI Mic comes in. It's got smooth surfaces on 4 sides. On the other 2 sides, there's a textured surface, which helps with grip, and it feels good. I mean, it's a plastic interior, nothing too fancy there. However, this case is chargeable. So on the back here, you have a Type-C port, and then when you open the case up, it gives you an indication of the status of the battery. So for the time that I've had this microphone, I've only had to plug the case in once. The battery on this case lasts a good while. I mean, I'm not exactly sure how long it lasts, but like I said, since I've had it, I've only plugged it in once, so it's pretty long. All right, now inside you're going to have your lightning cable adapter as well as a Type-C adapter. And in addition to that, this is a cold shoe mount that goes onto the receiver. And then, of course, you got the slots here on the side for the 2 transmitters. All right, so let's take a look at the windshields here. So these windshields, a lot of people call them dead cats. So this is what they're talking about. But it has this, I don't know if you can see it there, it's like a notched edge on either side. And what you do is you get your transmitter, and right here around the microphone, you see there's like a notched edge. You're just gonna get it in there, and then you twist, and now the windshield is on there, and it's not coming off. So even if you have this under a shirt, or if somebody happens to brush up against it, it's just not gonna fall off. It's in there nice and secure. And the same thing, you twist and you can pull it out. All right, now, this here is the transmitter. It is a pretty small size. It fits in the palm of your hand. And it has the same texture feel as the case. So it's got the texture on 2 sides, and then the 4 sides are smooth. So it really mirrors the case. That's pretty cool. Right here you have I believe it's a 3mm jack. If that's incorrect, I'll put it on the screen. And then you've got indicator lights here, as well as your Type-C port. So if you didn't get the entire kit and you only got 1 transmitter and 1 receiver, you can charge it via the Type-C port right there. You've got your power button, you have the link button, and you also have a record button. So these microphones do have internal recording, and then you can download that stuff to your computer. So very convenient. On the back here, you have a magnet. Now this magnet, as you see, it took me a little bit to get that off. These magnets are really, really good. And if you're wearing a t-shirt, maybe a light sweater, you're not gonna have issue with that, but obviously you're not gonna have any kind of thick material because it is a magnet and you're gonna have to get through that. You got a clip here, and the clip does have some little claws in there. So, you know, that's gonna be able to get itself locked in pretty good. There's a pretty tight spring on that. Also, when you turn these microphones on, it's gonna vibrate. Let's see if you can hear it. All right, it did a vibrate, and then you got this green indicator light to let you know that it's searching for the receiver. Once it connects to the receiver, then it goes solid. So we'll turn the receiver on. So the receiver does not vibrate. And then as you can see, it's giving you an indicator status here on the screen of my voice, and this here is solid green, so good to go. All right, so let's turn this off, and it also vibrates when you turn it off. So this being a quick overview, I don't want to get too in-depth with the settings. You can get on the website and check out some of the features and things like that. But this is a touch screen. You swipe down and you got your stereo settings, receiver, volume, transmitter, and then just overall settings. So this screen being as small as it is, it's not difficult to operate, surprisingly. It's pretty good. So in relation to the size of the transmitter, you know, these things are pretty small. So you're not gonna have all this bulky equipment and stuff running around. All right, let's power it off. So on the side here, you got your power button, and as well you have your Type-C charging port. Back here, this is the slot for the connections, like I said, with the lightning adapter and the Type-C adapter, as well as the cold shoe. So what you do is you take one of these out, whatever you're gonna use, and then there's some arrows here. There's an arrow there, and then there's an arrow here. You just match those up. And you slide it in, just like that, all the way to the top. And then that way you can plug it directly into your device. In my case, I plug it directly into my phone, and it just sits there on the side, so it's pretty convenient. Then you have your out, so if you're plugging this into something like not a monitor, if you're plugging this into something like a laptop during a live or something like that, you can plug that in there with the 3.5 millimeter jack, as well as you have your monitor headphones. So if you want to monitor the audio as it's happening, then you can do that too. All right. And if say your device, this is what you always connect your device with, you don't have to constantly take this in and out. There's a slot within the case that this fits into. So whenever you're done doing whatever recording you have to do, it puts back in there, and then you can see it's charging. So we'll put the receivers back there as well. All right, so you get a status bar on the receiver just to let you know that these are charging, as well as it gives you a status of how much time you have for recording on each of these microphones. So this one has 15 hours left of internal recording, as well as this one has 14.9 hours of internal recording. So really convenient, really easy to use. There's no connecting. Once you bring the system out, it automatically connects to the receiver. So there's really nothing you have to do. It is truly plug and play. So now let's look at the DJI Mic 2. So this is the case that you get with the DJI Mic 2. In my opinion, this looks more professional than the bag. If I'm walking around and I'm holding this here like this, like I said, in my opinion, it looks a little bit more professional. And if you have this in a bag, you're not worried about it being open and the contents coming out, okay? The drawstring, it could kind of work itself loose, whereas this with the zipper is much more secure. If you look here, this seam, that is protecting the zipper, as well as, it's gonna give you a little bit more protection from dust and debris, maybe some, sprinkles here and there. You don't have to worry about anything getting into the case. So we give it an unzip. So inside you have your area where where the DJI Mic 2 in the case goes in over here. This area here is going to hold the windscreens, as well as maybe some wires and things. You have another pocket back here with wires, as well as some DJI stickers and things that it comes with, in addition to the literature and everything else. All right, so it's all going to come contained within this case. I've since removed that because I don't want to walk around with all that stuff. All right, now looking at the DJI Mic 2 case, this is more of the same. You're going to have two transmitters, a receiver. You have your lightning adapter, as well as your Type-C adapter. And it's the same thing when you close it, or when you open it rather. You get your indicator lights for the battery. When I got this mic, just here recently, I plugged it in overnight. So we'll see how the battery lasts. I have been using this microphone quite a bit, and the case still has a charge on it. So this case is a bit different. This is a metal case. I don't know that there's any plastic on here whatsoever. I think it's entirely metal. So that's a little bit different. Compared to the DJI Mic 2 case, it is slightly larger. Obviously, this is more of a gray case, and this one's black. All right, let's look at the windscreen for the DJI Mic 2. As you can see, it's more of an oval shape, whereas the DJI Mic is a round shape. On the back side, you've got this, it looks like a 3.5 millimeter jack, right? Whereas this one has the little twist, the twist mechanism in order to lock it in. So let's pop this bad boy on. So up top here is your jack for, well, it's not a jack, it's the connection for your windscreen. So you just put that in there, snap it in. So it is secure in there. I mean, for what you would expect, it's not going to get randomly knocked off while you're recording. I had that happen to me once using an older set of microphones where I was talking and the windshield fell off, and I didn't even know it until I stepped on it, and then I was like, oh man. But not going to have that problem with this. Now, looking at this microphone, it is slightly larger than the DJI Mic, which we'll grab it here. Give you a look. Yeah, slightly larger, and that's just because of the rounded edges maybe. But, you know, it's still going to be small. It's still going to be very versatile, whereas, you know, the places you can put it in, things like that. All right. So, like I said, that's the port for the windshield. Over here, you got an indicator light. Here's a Type-C port. This button here, I can't remember what the name of this button is, but I'll have it here on the screen. There's another indicator light here. There's a link button. There's also a power button. Again, you get the clip on the rear with the little cleats in it, and then you get another magnet. So this magnet is slightly larger than the magnet that comes on the DJI Mic. All right, so you're able to get, you know, I guess if you're wearing something a little bit thicker, you're going to have that, but it's still a light sweater or a t-shirt is probably going to be your best option for this. Or if you saw a short from Holy Shift, he showed you how to put it in, like if you're vlogging, right? You can put it on the chin curtain of your helmet and smack that on, and then you can vlog with this microphone. So very versatile microphone. Shout out to Holy Shift. He did a great little short. I like that short, man. It was fantastic. All right, so when you power the device on, it does vibrate. All right, and then after that, just like the other one, just like the DJI Mic, you get that blinking green light because the microphone is searching for a device, and that device being the receiver, which is right here. We'll power it on real quick. All right, so again, the receiver does not vibrate. And again, the connection is really quick. You know, it's almost instantaneous. Once you turn these two on, then it just automatically links up. All right. Let's turn this back off, or well, let's turn the microphone off. And it does give you a vibration there. So if you're wearing it and you're turning this on and off, you know when it's on, you know when it's off. All right, looking at the receiver, of course, this is a touch screen again. You swipe down, you get some of the settings here. So you got receiver settings, transmitter, and then settings overall. So I have this dial that is new, and it has other functions that it does. I'll list them here on the screen, the things that you do with this. And then here on the side, you have a power button. You have your Type-C port. You also have your slots here for the Lightning adapter as well as the Type-C adapter. You have your out, and then you have your monitor headphones. Different for the DJI Mic2, the cold shoe is built into the body of the receiver. So, you know, you don't have to add anything onto there. You just slide it onto your device and then you're good to go. And it also has little, you can see that there. There's little cleats inside. So it does give you some resistance. So when you place it into the cold shoe, it's not going to be flopping around or sliding around on you. So very convenient. All right, and just like on the DJI Mic, you have that slot there for your Type-C or your Lightning adapter. So whenever you plug it in, same thing, you got the arrows to orient you into the direction that it needs to go. All right, just slide them in. You get a little snap. And then it's going to ask you to confirm. So this is different, right? Because on the DJI Mic, it doesn't ask you to confirm it. It just knows that it's there, so it's good to go, but you have to hit confirm. And then once you plug it into your device, it's going to ask you to confirm again that you've plugged it into a device. So I felt that that's kind of, that was an extra step that I wasn't aware of. So I accidentally did a recording and wasn't recording anything because I didn't confirm it. So just something to keep in mind. But anyway, that fits in there. It's going to give you, let you know that it's charging. Same thing with your transmitters. All right, so and when you get them inside the case, it gives you the internal recording time for each of these microphones and lets you know that everything is charging. So you get that good status bar in there. Closes it up. It has a nice little latch on it. Snaps closed. And that is going to do it for the close-up look. Let's get back to the parking lot. All right, and there you have it, the DJI Wireless Mic 2 and the DJI Wireless Mic 1. I really encourage you guys to get out, do your research. You know, I know buying a microphone to test it out, I mean, that's kind of crazy. But you can do what I did and just watch other people's videos. Listen to the sound quality. You know, get some multiple windows open and just listen to them back to back, just to get an idea of what it is that, you know, one, like the sound quality, and two, based on what you're doing, you know, is this going to work for you? With that, man, I'm about to head over to the Indian motorcycle dealership because today is just a gorgeous day. It is a little bit overcast, but as you can see, I'm out here in short sleeves, so, and the sun is peeking out, so it's just going to be a great day today. But anyways, hey man, ride every day. And most importantly, make sure you're enjoying it. Peace.